Hello and welcome to the 5 Yin Organ Qigong series. My name is Nathan Faust, and last time we talked a little bit about the lung energy with the exercise called separating the waters. Today we're going to be talking about the kidneys, which is actually the water element. The lungs, even though it's called separating the waters, is the metal energy. And I've always visualized an axe cutting the piece of wood when I visualize metal. But for the kidneys, the element is water, so it's going to be, the technique is called dipping for water. So, what I'm going to do in this exercise routine, is I'm going to start off with the physical body. What does this do? And then after that, I'm going to talk about the intent. What am I intending? What am I visualizing? Because it's very important when you're practicing Qigong and any sort of energy work that you have a good, strong visualization. Third, I'm going to be talking about primarily the health benefits of this. And what does it do? And how does it really work? How is this good for the kidneys? And which point is it good for the kidneys? And then finally, number 4, how do we put this in a moving meditation? Because that's ultimate. Whether you're doing Tai Chi Chuan or whether you're doing Qigong, each of the postures, and that includes the 108 form of Tai Chi Chuan by Yang Wu Chen, or should I say Yang Chen Fu, that you separate each of the postures and do those postures as a meditation sequence, and your skills will literally go through the roof. And that's what we're going to be doing in this Qigong set as well. So, we always begin, and we're going to begin at the end of the last exercise, because all of these literally go hand in hand, basically. Goes from one posture to the next. So we ended on separating the waters. So we're right here. What do we do next? Well, next we take a little bit wider stance after we calm down, sink down, exhale. So from the waters, turning the palms down, stand back up straight. I usually like to breathe in 3 breaths and exhale 3 breaths. And then I set most of my weight down on my right foot and take a little bit wider stance, about a horse riding stance, for the next exercise, which is called scooping up water. Now, my feet, they're pointing forward. They're aligned and they're pointing forward, straight ahead. My knees are going to be slightly bent, not locked, and never overextend your knees beyond your toes, because that could cause some damage from your knees. My waist is relaxed. The gua area, which is your crotch area here, all the way there, is relaxed. Release tension. And my chest relaxed, tension gone. I'm breathing in the stomach area here. I'm not breathing in the chest. I'm breathing using abdominal breathing methods. My shoulders are down. My crown is slightly lifted. My chin is ever tucking just ever so slightly. Otherwise, I'm trying to touch my neck with my collar. And I'm in this exercise right here, basically riding a horse. Now, that's the stance. You stand like that, like a statue all day. But here's the exercise, scooping water. After separating the waters, my right hand turns. Now my right palm is facing toward heaven. I'm going to turn the body, turn the torso, turn the waist about 45 degrees to your left. And as I do that, my hand's going to pierce forward. And we talked about in the first video what our visualization should be when your hand pierces forwards. Sticking your hand in a bag of beans. Feel that resistance. My palm is facing up, by the way. And once it reaches a specific point, I'm going to turn this palm to face forwards. And I'm going to crank this elbow out just a little bit, as if my hand is warding off something, like saying, stay back, warding off. My palm is facing forwards against a target. Like so, if you can see it, like that. And always, a rule of thumb, when you're doing your Tai Chi practice, you can't see my head, but that's okay. When you're doing your Tai Chi practice and when you're doing your Qigong practice, always let your elbow right here be lower than your wrist when you're ever in these type of postures like these, like brush knee or warding off type postures like this. So, horse riding stance, pressing outward. Now, this is what my right hand's going to do, because we're technically, even though my body is turned to the left, this is going to be a right side exercise. But I'll get into that just a little bit. Right now, I'm just going to focus on the arms. We're chunking this Qigong exercise bit by bit. First, we're working on the right arm and the torso. So let's do that again. My right palm, currently, after separating waters, is going to come back. Relax down. Now they're by my waist. So, my palm is facing down. Turn your arm, palm up. So now my palm is facing toward heaven or the sky. And then my arm isn't going to really do the twisting or the pushing. Because if my arm was only doing it, look how weak that is. And look how unsymmetrical that looks. Really, there's no power behind this at all, especially for thin people. So what I want to do is I want to engage the waist. I want to engage the quad area. I want to engage the stomach, the dantian. I want to engage this area here so that I can pierce forwards. And press out. So, there. And you don't have to make that circle at the end. That's just for fluff. Push. Oh, goodness. There we go. So, with that in mind, let's take it from the top. And this can be an exercise in itself to engage your stomach area. Now, notice, I'm cranking this area. I'm cranking my foot, or my leg, actually. It's the spiral begins at the foot, spiraling upwards, through the leg, channeling up to my stomach, all the way through my shoulder, out to the elbow, through the hand. and it's released. That's the energy of it. That's what we want to do. There. It ends like that. Turn your palm over. As if you're pushing somebody away. So let's do that all in sync. Good. Now, we got that part done. But what is this guy going to do? He's just sitting over there alone. He's got to do something, right? Got to keep him active. Well, what the left arm is going to do is it's going to hide. It's going to go behind your right lower back, and it's going to rest there. The reason for this is so that it's energy. It can nourish your kidneys. That's the reason why it's there. It can keep your kidneys company. You can think of it that way. Really, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be sending the chi that you gather and going through your kidneys to nourish them, massage them energetically. This is a great exercise for those who are constantly fatigued or have some sort of kidneys problems, according to Chinese medicine. So, we're in from separating the waters. As this right palm turns face upward, and as it penetrates forward, and as your spiral sensation goes all through the right, into the stomach, and into the left shoulder, going through the left elbow, into the left wrist. You're going, or actually into the right wrist, excuse me, right to the right shoulder, into the right elbow, into the right wrist, excuse me. And it's going to go out. And it's going to press forward. As it pushes forward, you're going to simultaneously place your left hand on your lower back. And it arrives at the same time as your right hand pierces forward. So let's get the back view from this. Here's showing the back, right here, after the separating waters. There. It should arrive relatively at the same time. Give or take a few. There. Now, that your left hand is resting against your lower right side back, turn. What's going to happen is now that you're turning towards the left side here, what's going to happen is you're going to turn to the right all the way. Down. And now we're going to bend at the waist. Don't use your lower back. Bend at the waist. Wipe my stance out just a little bit longer. We're going to bend at the waist and turning our palm to face up. Bend at the waist, all the way up. We're going all the way to the ground. You may not be able to see this, but my hand is touching the ground or just hovering over it. This is the full exercise. My hand is literally hovering over the ground. I'm scooping up water. And then I'm ending at our original posture. And then you simply repeat like this. Follow along. Bending at the waist. Never bend at your lower back. Keep your knees flexed. This isn't really a hamstring stretch. That's not what it's for. Scooping up water. All right. One more. Bend at your waist, and then come back up. All right. So, after you completed this side, your right side, going towards your right side, scooping up water over and over and over again, do that 9 times. And at the finale of that side, I want you come up, turn your palm over, and then press out, just like that. So inhale, press out your hand again. It's as if you got a bucket of water, gathering it, continuously dumping it on yourself from the spring. And then at the end, pressing outward. The press is good to relieve tension in the body. It's good to relieve the toxic anger and emotions. So, like so. Now, after this, we just simply switch. So, we sweep across, like what we were doing before. We sweep across to the right side, and we just change hands. This time, my right hand is going to be placed on my left lower back region. And my left hand is going to be pressing towards the right. And it's going to sweep across. It's going to bend here at the quad, all the way down the hips, and then scoop water again, and then over. And you repeat this exercise 9 times. Good. Now, in case you couldn't see it, I'm going to do this exercise a little higher so you can see what my hands do when I get to the bottom. See? Scoops. This is also something that you can do if you can't go all the way down. Because the spring can be pretty deep. It's a pretty deep spring here we got. See how my hand is in a cup form? Scooping water, palms facing up, cup, hand hollowed, like so. This is what my hand looks like when I'm scooping. See, you can actually set something here. Thinking of something to put in here, but visualize a nice little cup here. It's the same type of hand, a little bit same, a little bit different. The same idea as in Bhagwajan with serving the tea. So, again, scooping, and then pressing out. Remember, don't forget to bend forward because that's the key to activate your lower back. Okay, so this is what it looks like. All right. So that's the basic mechanics of the posture. If you need to review those, just go back, pause the video and go back. Let's talk about the breath sequence. So, at the end of separating waters, I've just breathed out. So, I rotate the hand, the left hand. Let's do the right hand first. That's an inhalation. This is the yin phase. I begin to rotate the right palm so that my right palm is facing toward heaven. And as I do that, notice my left hand. My left hand is kind of pushing out. Because it's cranking, my body's cranking. And now, exhale as my left hand here hides and my right hand penetrates forward. This is an exhale breath, the penetration. And then the turning is an inhale. And then the pressing forward is an exhale. And then as I sway over to the right hand side, that's an inhale. Going down is an inhale. Or should I say, as we're going down is an exhale. Exhale down. Inhale as you come up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale down. Exhale. And then inhale. I'm being rather vocal so that you can get the idea. And that's the basic posture. That's the basic breathing pattern. So, I'll demonstrate again with my left hand forward. Sway to the left. Exhale. Scoop. And right about here, you see this? As soon as my hand is right between my legs, as if there's a line going straight between my legs to divide my body in two, that's when I start with the inhalation. So I call this 6 o'clock. So when your hand reaches 6 o'clock, right here, you begin your inhalation. And then when your hand, 12 o'clock, exhale. Inhale. 6 o'clock, that means it's inhalation time. And then once it gets 12 o'clock, it's time to exhale. Good. And you repeat that exercise 9 times on each side. So that's the physical structure, and that's the breath structure of this movement. Next is, we're going to talk about what this is good for. This is good for your kidneys and how. Well, there's 2 ways, 3 ways if you want to get really deep into it, but we'll talk about 2 ways. The first one, number 1, is because obviously you have this bending forward and swaying action. That's always going to do something for your lower back and your kidneys in the Qigong sequence, in the Qigong sense, I should say. Another way is our hands are back here. And even though this doesn't really seem like it, but your hand is there to provide protection and nourishing to the kidney or to the lower back. Third, your mind, your intent. Your intent needs to be positive for the kidney. As I'm doing this exercise, I often routinely say, I love you, my precious kidney. I love you, my precious kidney. Say that as a mantra. Speak to your organs, and you will improve your health. So, That's what I'm visualizing. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking that same thing with the lung exercise that we did prior. I'm thinking that same thing throughout all these exercises. I love you, that specific organ. You are my precious, that specific organ. Okay, so finally, let's talk about the intent. And we did the intent with that exercise, with thinking about the organ. That's just one picture. You can also visualize yourself in a deep stream of water. So the water comes up to your knee or to your waist, however you want to do it, as long as you got that bending. That's the main important part. As long as you bend to activate those kidneys, that's the important part. You want to visualize yourself in a stream of water. Also, you want to visualize nourishing your kidney. So, let's do the meditation sequence. Follow along with me. I'll zip my mouth and follow. We're going to be playing monkey see, monkey do. Just copy me. Exhale. Inhale. Exhaling all the way down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Finish with an exhale. Push outward. Opposite side. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale, press out. All right. One of the interesting things about this posture, one of the things I really love about it, is that it really identifies itself with the Tai Chi 2. If you've ever seen the Yin and Yang symbol, that's called the Tai Chi 2. And if you notice, with our inhaling and exhaling points, that's really the Tai Chi 2. That's really the Yin and Yang. Because up here you can say it's Yang. Breathing out. And then down here is the Yin. It starts getting darker, 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 pitch black, pitch black, pitch black. And then it's getting lighter again. So, to really understand this exercise, study the Tai Chi too. Study the Yin and Yang symbol, and that will certainly help and increase your movements of this exercise. All right, so I think that's all for today. That's all for this episode. Next, we do one of my favorite ones because it's really easy. It's the liver exercise. So, thank you so much. I hope that this exercise, these set of videos on Wholeo-Awakening's YouTube page is very beneficial for you in your life and your daily regimen that you have to do for your health. I highly recommend that you do watch these separate videos before you do the sixth and final video, which is coming, which is basically putting all these movements together. I know these individual videos may be long, but I think they're necessary to give you the basics of each exercise. Thank you so much. And remember, always live in your heart.